got some work done, got some things done on Oklahoma State. Scout team work today was really exceptional. Good groups. That's one thing that depth allows you to have when you get guys down there and get quality looks on the other end. Guys had a great attitude about it and worked very hard. Very proud of that. We'll crank up practice a little even more intense tomorrow. And because it was just 2 days off a very physical scrimmage. So the next 2 days we'll get after it really good if we get a break on Sunday, and should be very intense days, get a lot of work done, and but very happy with the scout team work today. And offense, defense, pretty solid day, and got good to have a lot of guys back out there today. So I told you, you didn't believe me. Go ahead.
The guys who work on scout team, will they still get chances from the twos or things like that?
Can be. We'll rotate back and forth. You know, guys rotating from twos back down to threes and get some different looks, or if they got a special package they may be used in. You know, it could be a pass rush package or a 3-wide or 4-wide package or something, or you know, on offense or defense or whatever it may be. But they can still get work. Yes, they're not assigned to that for the rest of the year.
What does OSU show you on film?
A very well coached team that knows how to win, knows how to play hard, can create a lot of points on offense, plays very physical on defense, a lot of pressures and different looks and 8-man drops to, you know, come and pressure at the quarterback. I mean, just a variety of things, and like I say, won 41 games in 4 years. So. Very well coached, good football team.
What is the biggest problem you feel they pose for your team?
They're a very good football team. They're very well coached, and they know how to win, and they play very hard.
Is they still a program on the rise, or have they established themselves?
I think they've established themselves. I mean, they've been at Cotton Bowls. They were third in the country a couple years ago, you know, and had a legitimate argument to be in the national championship game, you know, and so I mean, I think they've established themselves. I really do.
Do they change much based on like what they have personnel-wise from year to year, or are they pretty much?
No, they seem to do a lot of the same things, but I mean, they always will. I mean, people, good coaches always are going to feature different things, and they're going to tweak and turn and go look at things that hurt us. You know what I mean? Offensively, defensively, and they've done their research with other coaches that have played us and things. So, I mean, they'll have the thing about opening games. You never know. Like Forrest Gump, like a box of chocolates.
Coach, have you had any walk-ons earn scholarships this year?
No, not this present time. Not just present time.
You were saying after the scrimmage that you have to, you know, you had to get that scout team ready, so you had to kind of tell guys first team, second team, third team, or whatever. I mean, do you post that somewhere?
No, and before we post any of those things, we call them in and talk to them individually and go over things and tell them this is why and this is what you're going to do, but you know, give them the role and where we think they're at. And it's not just a bang, here, go do this. I mean, we spend a lot of time with these kids. It matters to a lot of them, but all of them, and we try to do it the right way.
Jameis was a good scout team guy.
I'd say Jameis was a guy named Peter Ward was pretty good. Lavernius Coles, Derek Brooks, you know, all those guys were all pretty good scout team guys.
Jimbo, how are these 3 days of practice preparation maybe different than what will be next week when it's actually game week? If there is
not a lot. I mean, it won't be a lot. These will be hard, physical Tuesday, Wednesday type practices. You know, where you get a lot of physicality. You get the good thing, you get extra meeting time. You know what I mean? To be able to study film because you're not in school. So from that standpoint, it's very good. But you know, it's still going to be they're very physical Tuesday, Wednesday type practices.
John Franklin played a big role as a scout team QB last year. Is he going to be reprising that, or is he more of a receiver now?
He's playing receiver more full-time now. He will still have roles at quarterback, but he's evolving into receiver.
Are you worried about any nerves or problems associated with the big stage, Jerry's World and all that?
Well, National Championship was a big stage. A lot of them got to play in that one. They got to play in the ACC Championship. They got to play at Clemson. But you always, when the opening jitters of a first game, there's always those cards. That's all part of sports. I mean, how you handle those situations, how you handle those arenas. And we've been in a lot of big games, but you know, like I say, that is a different stadium and different things, but at the end of the day, it's got 2 goalposts on the end. That's what we got to remember. But you do have to concern yourself with those things and make them aware.
PJ and Ronald Darby still progressing the way you want them?
Yeah, they practiced today. They practiced well and did some really good things. Moving, I didn't give them a fall, give them about a 3/4 just because I wanted to ease them back in the right way, and they were over chomping at the bit. They looked really good. Like I said, they were very pleased. I was very pleased with their progress.
I know you weren't expecting those to be serious, but you still breathe a bit of a sigh of relief.
Well, anytime it's a hamstring, and it's a hamstrings, I'm always going to, if I have time, I'm always going to err on the side of more time. Because a hamstring you can bring back much too early. And even today, I think they could have went full 100%. They went about 75% of the practice. I made them cut down just a quarter to build because they had set a week. And I don't want to do that now. They'll practice probably full the next 2 days, or at least 80 to 100%. So I mean, they're in great shape, and we worked their tails off conditioning-wise on the side. They looked like they hadn't missed a beat, and they actually were ahead because they were fresh-legged.
Ryan Green, pretty much the same thing?
Yes, he practiced full today, too. He was good. He went all day.
Is there an extra pressure or significance that comes with just starting the season at #1 for you guys?
No, I think you can. If you're let out to be. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to go. You got to play all your games. You got to play well. And like I said, it doesn't matter where we're ranked. I'm glad we're not to say that. I'm very proud we're ranked there, and I think it signifies what's going on with our program. But at the same time, we have to go play like a #1 team or play like a very good team, and that's what we have to do.
I think you said after the scrimmage you'd be comfortable with 8 receivers. Is John one of those at this point, or not quite yet?
He could be in there. He possibly could be in that mix, but we'll see. He's growing into that role.
Coach, it seems like at least 2 or 3 times this fall you guys have been moved inside because of storms.
Makes a difference, man, and you don't have to miss a beat. Keep the rhythm, keep the same continuity of how you practice. You ain't got to go stretch. That's how a lot of injuries occur. Guy gets loose, gets stressed out, and then he gets back, and you don't get stressed out again when you come back out. And it changes the mindset of the game. A lot of things, and it's very productive, especially when school starts too, because then you tutors, class, study hall, all those types of things. It's hard to adjust.
I know the last couple of years you've talked a lot about filling Doak for home games. It seems like season tickets kind of went at a record pace, and there's a lot of different. I mean, how good is that for you to see?
It's really good because it's when you get our kids, and I say this all the time. I want our kids to walk out there and the fans appreciate them, but they appreciate the fans too. But I want us to play in full arenas every time we play. Because if we're going to play in big arenas like he's talking about, going to Dallas, going to national championships, going to playoff games, going to major bowl games, when you walk in those arenas, you got to say, hey, just like practice, just like at home, just like we play in this all the time. And don't think that doesn't matter. Kids get used to that environment and they get comfortable in that environment. Sometimes when if it's 3/4 of the way full or something, and all of a sudden it's full for this big game, you say we're all there, yeah, but that even changed. Those kids feel pressure. That's just the way it is. And the more it's sold out, the consistency of it, the better it is for us to be able to play on those kind of stages.
Is it different being a preseason #1 now than maybe 15, 20 years ago because there's that constant media attention all the time?
Probably so. I would probably say from the standpoint, I think everything's different now. Mm-hmm. Just in general. Because of media attention and social media and the ability to communicate so worldly, you know what I'm saying, and so quickly that there are no secrets in anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? And the pressure and the constant, just people around you and knowing what's going on with you, and that's like, there's no doubt.
Going back to the scout team stuff real quick, everybody's talking about how many guys Oklahoma State lost from last year's team. Were they playing underclassmen too that just,
Yeah, they had. They got some leads in games, and you saw some of those guys on film. So it's not like those guys have. They never walked out there and guys haven't played.